Hello, everybody. This is Derek, and with me today is the only man who will rub dried scat on his face as a natural sunscreen, Carl Mandrioli. It's crusty, it's exfoliating. He loves it. What's up, buddy?
Welcome to the Backpacking Listeners Podcast, brought to you by the Made in America quilt makers, Lighten Equipment. Check them out at enlightenequipment.com. With me today is Derek Somerville. He's a man that thinks there's too much controversy around construction zones. Every time he sees a construction area, he sees a sign that says "End construction zone."
Was that scripted? Did you script that or Google that? What's going on with that?
I'm just sharing about your thought process when you're driving through construction zones.
I'm just gonna say I got a phone call that was a spam call. I almost took that during your joke on me. That would seem more interesting than your joke. Okay, we're all about controversy today. Man.
Before you get to that, if you remember, when you answer spam phone calls, you like go full conversation mode. You'll like call them back, check with your bank. Like, this is not a small task here.
You know, the spammers need love, and I feel it's my job to. I think I had 3 spams, like text messages and calls before 10 o'clock today.
Did you? Okay. If you get one while we're recording, you got to answer. We got to hear what it sounds like to have.
That's fair.
I'll answer mine too, and you can like coach me how to do a better job answering spam phone calls.
Yeah. It's a thing. I feel like I should create a little podcast about it, but neither here nor there.
You could. I mean, honestly, by answering the spam phone calls, that makes you get more spam phone calls.
I know.
I'm not sure that's a good strategy, but yeah.
That's so true.
Okay. So, Derek, are you willing to take a calculated risk on gear you bring to lighten your load? Like, have you done this? Are you willing to do this? You're getting older. You're significantly more frail than you used to be even a couple of years ago.
Wow. Carl does bone density tests before every trip, guys. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just mean like less tough, I guess, which is more
less tough.
Yeah.
Less tough?
Kind of mental issues there.
Mental tough. Yeah. No. Have I taken a calculated risk? Yeah, I think I try to. There's been a couple times, and sometimes it fails, and sometimes it's okay. Like,
I got a specific example. Have you taken one?
Please go ahead.
For years, you do this one. For years, I could not convince you to bring a rain jacket. Like, you just refused to bring one.
True.
You're like, the forecast says no rain, so why do I need?
rain?
Yeah.
I'm a big shot. Yeah.
And it actually worked for a number of years because the Sierras are relatively stable with the rain forecast, but until it didn't, right?
I think you were like, let's bring him out to Colorado and see if that works. And that was the ultimate prank, my friend. The ultimate prank.
Prank was to go backpacking in Colorado.
Jacket for Pants was born.
Yeah, but you brought the jacket in that one. That's how Jacket for Pants works.
I know,
you
right?
Have the jacket,
but it was the cheesy, like, not really waterproof jacket. Okay. So I think at that moment when I was soaked to the bone, I was like, it might be worth it because you just don't want to feel that feeling.
For people that don't know the story, we on our way to camp, Derek wet through his pants. He wet his pants.
Wait. Let's rephrase that. Jeez. I didn't pee myself like Carl does.
I didn't say that.
You're the one taking Flomax, not me. All right. So listen.
I didn't say you peed yourself.
There was a flash flood, lightning. Everything in my pack was basically wet.
So he wanted to take his pants off, and so he put a jacket on for pants instead.
I really wanted to take my pants off. That was what it was about. We found a little.
Okay, what's your version of the story?
The version is that it was raining all day. The trail itself was a river. We finally get to like a campsite where we had no campsite. Essentially, we found like a little daybreak of like an hour or two tops, maybe. And so we were like hanging things out. I think we ended up getting the tent and putting it in some random spot because somebody took our camp spot or something. I don't remember. Anyway, I had no dry clothes. Everything was wet. So I'm like, I can't wear wet clothes. Let me take my cheesy jacket that dried in like 10 minutes because it's so thin. Let me now wear this. I'm flipped upside down, put my feet through the bottom of it and wear it as pants. And that worked for a while.
I still got the picture for that. Maybe that'll be like the thumbnail or the promo for this episode. I'll see if I can.
I have you actually submitted it to, was it Backpacker Magazine?
a story, not the picture, but yeah.
But they created a picture from the story.
They
I
did,
have it.
yeah.
Yeah, I have it somewhere in my closet.
believe you.
I could pull it out one week and show everybody. It
Yeah,
was. It
so
was.
either way, you were willing to take calculated risks. I think you don't do that as much anymore, but am I wrong about that?
I think it's more well thought. At least I think about it now. Like I think we both tried that one trip to. I think this was the trip to Banff where we tried to I'm gonna try to have just enough food for the whole trip, and that didn't work. I was out early, and then the other one was I believe Catalina, where I was just like, I'm not gonna bring my chair. I don't need it, and then I didn't really need it, so
okay,
it was fine.
Wait, so you didn't bring a luxury item, and you got away with it? Whoa! Wait, mind blown.
You consider everybody who brings a chair that's a luxury item?
I think not just me. I think that the rest of the backpacking world thinks that.
I think a lot of people would disagree with you. I think a lot of people who have posture, back, body soreness issues need that chair for recovery.
Okay.
Many
I think
times
that you're not correct, and
I don't think so. I think I
don't know. I don't think anybody's believing on that one. It's not an essential item. There's essential. There's luxury. You can.
I think it's more
successfully backpack, as you literally just proved, without the chair.
I think. Well, we also had benches everywhere we went. Yeah. So it wasn't that hard.
And some places have that. So
did you bring a chair? Who brought a chair? We still had people bringing chairs. We still had people bringing chairs
for sure.
Why did they bring a chair?
Okay. Why did I bring a chair?
No. Well, what I'm saying is, I think it's more controversial than you think it is. Is what I'm saying. So we're gonna find out. Do some of you guys think? I know some people think that chairs are luxury items, but are there people out there that think chairs are a necessity for their body type?
That's actually on my list, so we'll get to that.
Let's talk about that.
I'll share this. So I'm going ultralight on my July trip this year.
Okay.
And so in terms of shaving weight, like the chair is like the first thing to go, man. Like first thing.
Well, for you, yeah.
Yeah, and I think for everybody else that's going on this trip. So
ultralight, if it's ultralight, then it has to go.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. I'll share this just to support you, is that we had that big long day in Yosemite, the 50-mile day. And we chronicled this a couple years ago, where I was running my controversial ideas by a fast packer, Jeff Pelletier. And he was telling me that these were dumb ideas. Basically, he called it like stupid light or my ideas. And I listened to him on half of them, but I looked at the forecast, and it was supposed to be like full sun, no clouds, bluebird skies. I ditched the rain jacket for that day, and I got away with it. So it's in the Sierras. I got a little cold at the end, but nothing that wasn't handleable. So yeah, that worked for me. Shaved some weight. Anyway, yeah, but I mean, that's a calculated risk, right? Would you have done that too?
I mean, you checked the weather report, I assume?
Yeah, I literally just told you what the weather report was.
So, well, sometimes you forget. I would think that's I mean, if your goal is to be as light as possible and go as fast as possible, then maybe you risk that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Final verse of the episode, Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they shall be called sons of God. Ooh. So like the peacemakers, kind of like the opposite of the controversial people that spark controversy.
Would you be more like a stepson then, if you don't create peace?
Well, that's my question, is stirring up this ultralight controversy breaking the peace? Are we like causing some divisions here?
I think of it as accountability, Carl.
Okay.
We're keeping people accountable. We're just calling it out. Like some people
these are ideas. We're just sharing ideas.
Yeah, I know.
So how does that really take accountability?
Because I think some people have it hard, fast. It's like how some people will label things a hard, fast truth, even though it's not a hard, fast truth. We just talked about this in like the generational episode.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. So you believe it, it's got to be true, but then you realize like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not that way.
So,
right?
Okay, I see what you're saying. That's a really good point. So you're saying we're challenging conventional wisdom with this?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So,
sort of, but conventional wisdom might actually be wiser than what we're suggesting.
I mean,
so we'll find out.
We're backpacking blisters, We only give conventionally sage wisdom.
Keep that caveat throughout this. So if you're new to the show and you're more of like a serious person and you're like, what are these guys talking about? You're probably in the wrong place. Go find a different podcast where they focus on seriousness all the time.
This is serious. Okay, you can stay. This is dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Yeah. Derek will provide the
I never joke. This is not a joking podcast.
This is not a joking matter. All right, what you got? First on your list.
First on my list is
controversial ultralight strategy.
Okay, Carl, if you're hiking at night, ditch the headlamp. You don't need a headlamp. You just use your phone light instead. You don't need it.
You said that wrong. I think you wrecked your own idea.
Did it?
If you're not hiking at night, right?
Oh, if you're not hiking at night. Yeah. If you're not hiking at night, let's put the not in front. If you're not hiking at night, ditch your headlamp. You don't need it. Just use your phone lamp.
Your phone flashlight thing?
Phone lamp, whatever.
Okay. I like the phrase phone lamp.
But the boomers call it a phone lamp. I don't know if you knew that. So.
Okay. So a lot of people bring their headlamp for like around camp stuff, like going to the bathroom when it's dark. I don't know, putting their bear canister somewhere. If you get to camp late cooking, you're saying you don't need that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be transparent. I didn't bring a headlamp on the last trip. Do I wish I had the headlamp?
I don't think I knew that.
I didn't bring it on the Catalina trip. No, I didn't bring it. I used my phone, and just for this very purpose, I'm like, do I really need it? Like, I don't know if I need it. And then I didn't really need it, but I also was like, it's just way more convenient because it gives me both hands. I can do more. It's brighter. I don't know. It's just easier. Is it really that heavy? Do I really care? You know?
And in full disclosure, we did an episode in the fall with Ben, kind of your fill-in and co-host, and we did an episode. It was a satire episode about ultralight strategies, and this was on the list, dude. This was like a satirical answer, and you're saying no. This is a legit answer. That
I need to bring the headlamp?
No, you basically just copied what we said from the fall.
Well, I wasn't there, so I guess.
I'm just kind of wondering if that was your research for this episode. Did you just like listen to that episode and just like copy down ideas?
The less I hear of you, the better, though. Like, why would I hear the episode?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
we're gonna find out.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm just kind of planting that seed. If you start like ripping off ideas from that episode and you're trying to make the satirical ideas we had like real ideas, then just beware, folks. Just beware, Derek. All right, I'm gonna go. Okay. Let's see.
You don't agree with that one. You don't. What do you feel? You feel like you need to bring a headlamp?
I'm on the fence on that one. So
you love your headlamp.
It's not that. It's just that I think I can do what you did and get away with not bringing it. I'm just nervous that like we'll have a catastrophe day and then we're gonna end up hiking at night. Where we're like, dang it, we didn't. We went the wrong way. This is taking way longer. This mountain pass is way harder, and maybe I'm waiting for somebody and now like it's just dark and I don't have a headlamp.
I'm going to solve this for you real quick. Like, let's say you got like a snag in your zipper or like a knot somewhere that you had to get out, but it's like midnight.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to use my phone light to do this, but you have to like properly tilt the phone to get it to shine on the and then you like one hand. You need both hands.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get annoyed like trying to tilt your phone the right way and like, I'll just lift the thing up here. It's so annoying. It just gets annoying.
Yeah. So I guess my question is that, the potential for that annoyance, is that like avoiding that, is that worth adding 2 to 3 ounces in your pack? Probably it is. Right?
My priority is because like when it happens, it's super annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that being said, just to live life on the edge, I'll just ditch the headlamp for that ultralight trip.
Wow.
That. I'm just gonna do it, man. You know what?
Wow.
And if I have a hard time with something, I'm just gonna borrow somebody else's. So,
is it worth it to bring? This is from my own book of failures. Is it worth it to bring a rain jacket even if it doesn't rain? And you don't know if it'll rain.
Depends on where you're going. If you're going someplace where it has very stable weather, the forecasts are accurate, which is not Colorado, then I think you can get away with it. If you're going in like the Rocky Mountains where like, the weather people are just guessing, then I would always bring one. So,
okay, well, there we are.
Okay.
There we are.
All right, next one. This actually bothers people more than I thought it would because we've always done it this way. And that is simply like to share gear. So there's lots of things you can share, but I've kind of like whittled it down to like the stove, the pot, the fuel. I'm now willing to share the locator beacon. I don't think everybody needs a locator beacon unless you're hiking the whole day by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm even willing to share the dumb pad pump. If you have a similar sleeping pad to somebody else, you can borrow some of my battery juice to pump it up, whatever, if I can use yours. The first aid kit, even the thermocell, like the one to keep the bugs away. I think there's a lot of things you can share. You kind of spread these out. I think you're going to save some weight.
You're going to save some weight. And then if you have somebody who gets injured and you have to carry weight, then it's that much easier.
That's true.
I mean,
yeah, not a ton easier, but a little.
Yeah,
bit,
but like it's just saving every ounce counts,
So the issue with this is if somebody has to bail from the trip mid-trip and they're more than a day out from like a trailhead, you've got to keep some of the stuff they might want. And
yeah.
you know what? They're bailing from the trip too stinking bad, right?
Too stinking bad. What if they're the only person who brought the water filter, which would be a bad idea. But let's say
that was not on the
case.
list, my friend. I think everybody should have their own filter.
No?
We've had too many issues with that.
Yeah, okay. So you gotta bring your filter.
Yeah, remember when we had somebody steal the water filter out of our backpacks?
Yeah, I
they
do.
Said they didn't have one, and
then
they had both of them.
We shouldn't name names, Rocky. We shouldn't name names.
He wasn't the one that did that.
He was. I thought he was the one that had it in his pack.
He had it in his pack, but he sent a messenger to go steal it out of my backpack, and
the messenger.
Yeah, the
that's right. I take that back, Rocky. I take that back.
Yeah.
Rocky's
Next one,
clear.
you got?
Okay. No hard copy. Don't bring a hard copy of the map. Only digital copies. GPSs only.
What if your phone runs out of juice and your backup battery got dropped in the stream?
What if you're Carl and you're a klutz and you break your phone? Or what if you drop it over somewhere, in the river?
Correct.
Slip and fall.
Yeah.
He didn't borrow my trekking poles. He falls in the river, phone ruined.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
So
some of those maps are stinking thick though. You can save like 3 to 4 ounces on a map. On not bringing a map. Yeah.
Okay. What about if you had multiple people bringing digital maps? Then do you need a paper copy?
I don't know. It depends on how reliable. Like, so in planning for this next trip, we found that some apps have like falsified information on the route. And so if you're aware of that ahead of time and you get the accurate information, I think it's fine if you've done your homework. But yeah, I don't know. Maps are kind of annoying. Like they're fun to look at, especially in the planning stages, but to like constantly unfold them at junctions and things, that's kind of.
We used to do that.
I still do it sometimes. I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to go ultralight, like this is a way to shave some weight. I just don't. It's a risk. Like you said, if you get multiple people with maps and you're hiking with them, you're not falling behind, you're not jumping ahead. I think that's probably okay.
But when are you not trying to go ultralight to the point where you're going to bring a paper map?
Literally just our last trip, the Catalina trip. I brought a chair.
You brought the paper map?
I didn't care. Yeah, I had one of the heavier packs. I didn't care.
Okay. Yeah. Did you bring a paper map?
I don't know if there was one.
Exactly. I'm sure there's one out there somewhere.
Probably. I didn't bring one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one I got is this one I am actually going to do. So, all right. If you're Derek and you you're a person that likes to use trekking poles and you're willing to go and really invest a full $20 at your local Target, then I got some news for you. Like you can shave pounds by getting some carbon trekking poles, and I would use the running ones that just kind of, they're like the Z format. And so, the reason why this is controversial is because you're more likely to break these. That being said, I've been using mine for years and I've never broken them. I imagine if I take a hard fall or if we have some, I wouldn't use them like going off trail, but if you have like pretty good, well-established trails, some of these poles are like 12 ounces for the pair. So 6 ounces a piece. They're ultra light. A lot of people, I think, including you, like to adjust your poles like up and down the hill. I feel like you just kind of adjust your grip and adjust your angle on the poles and they work just as good.
I don't adjust the pole really ever, but the only time you're going to break it is if you get it wedged in between something. Maybe I broke mine because I wedged it between a rock and a tree branch and I slipped and fell. And it's like,
what was the terrain there? Was that like a nice groomed trail like I just said?
No, it wasn't, Carl.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. Slippery, muddy, gross, wet. So to me, that's like, it's hard. It would be hard to break your. To me, what happens normally is like the spring or the locking mechanism is going to fail before you actually break your pole, right?
Yeah, and the carbon ones, they don't even have the spring in them. They just have these, I don't even know what you call them, some weird blue thing that goes to the middle.
That's super in detail and helpful.
Do you know what it's called? We're not gear experts on the show.
The weird blue thing is what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know. It just connects the poles. So the drawback is that they're like impossibly expensive. So if you can find a coupon for your outdoor store, I would use. That's how I bought mine. I had like a credit and a coupon, but they're like, I don't know, they're probably pushing $200 now, which is like ridiculous compared to Derek's $20 Target version.
I mean, do you really need something like $100 over $20? Like those Target ones will probably last me like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and mine have lasted 5 years. And so because if I said it again, this is controversial. If you go on ultralight, just consider that. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
What you got?
That's the only guy. I only got a couple.
Okay. That's embarrassing. All right. You
Well,
want me to keep going?
You did. Yeah, you said 2 or 3. So here's 2 or 3.
I always say 3 or 4. I always say 3 or 4.
But you didn't this time.
I'm gonna go back to my email and look. That's not correct. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'll make a couple. I can kind of combine a couple of these. So in the Boomer episode, we talked about how they suggested using 2 socks. Like you get the thick wool socks. Like some people have, like go over the calf or like over the knee with these wool socks. I don't know what's going on there.
What?
That's a little crazy.
Why?
I think like ankle ultralight thin socks are sufficient. It's about the shoe fit. So you're not going to save a lot, but you're going to save a couple ounces and you're going to look, like you're not wearing leg warmers from the 80s.
So what, let me play back at that though. Let me a little devil's advocate. Yeah. What if you're somebody who has like poor circulation? Do they have like compression?
They still have compression thin ultralight socks. Yeah.
So maybe that's why they're helping their calves out. Maybe they get cramps.
So you can, if you want to do that, you can wear the calf sleeves, which will just go over your calves and not go over your knee and not go. Yeah, there's other options, and they're thin. Those are thin too.
Those are thin.
Yeah,
those are great. But
I use those.
But you know how people are. Sometimes they want to like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They don't want to put 2 things on. They want to put 1 thing on. I don't know.
Okay.
You know.
I will say that the ultra long socks for whatever reason don't hold up as well as the combo of the socks and the calf sleeves. So
I feel like the socks come down more than like the actual sleeves.
Probably.
That's me.
Okay. I know that even in the 90s, people used to wear road running shoes instead of hiking boots, instead of trail running shoes.
Yeah.
Some of the road running shoes are so ultra light that the midsole, like the part that kind of like is the cushion.
Yeah.
That is not even covered by tread on the bottom of the shoe. So those will stink and break down fast. But if you find a road running shoe that has sufficient tread on the bottom and it's not like loosey-goosey on weird angled trails, you can definitely shave a few ounces there and go nuts with that. So the other one that I had, the last one I had was kind of to your point about the luxury item is I think that if like everybody wants to have some sort of luxury, whether it's to help them eat better, sleep better, sit around camp, whatever. But if you're trying to go ultra light, I would say pick one luxury item, limit it to one that adds no more than 6 ounces. That means no chairs, chair kits, camp shoes, jet boils. There's a lot of things that get eliminated there. What do you think about that one?
I don't know. I mean, luxury is so good. I'm trying to, it may honestly, when you said it made me think like if I didn't bring a chair, slippers, pajama pants.
But your slippers might be under the 6 ounce threshold. But you
slippers might be
either the slippers or the pajama pants. Not
like I would. It's not just that, but I would save so much room in my bag. Okay, they're all bulky.
Yeah.
Right? So
you could go down to like a minimalist day pack for your backpack.
I could.
Yeah.
I don't know, but those luxury items, man, I tell you, they just make the trip.
Well, here's what it could include: it could include like a better pillow. It could include like upgrading your sleeping pad.
That's true. I'll give you the
pillow. Could include ultralight camp shoes, which I think are terrible. Some of those are like $50 camp shoes, which are just basically like a piece of foam and some string that you buy on ground gear. I wouldn't recommend those, but some people like them.
No.
It could include, you could get like an ultralight pair of pajama pants. That could work.
Ultralight. I don't want the ultralight. I like the heavy fleece pajama pants. But the pillow, your pillow, I gotta say, was just it. I was jealous of your pillow.
The X-Bed pillow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It might be worth it to get one of those.
Yeah, that would be that could be your luxury item.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about
so there you go. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else from
hate on it, comment on it, guys. Stir the pot. Did we stir the pot? Did we feel like we stirred the pot?
Here's one that'll stir the pot. And this kind of relates to something we talked about is if you really want to shave some weight too, don't bring a filter. Just ditch the filter, dip in.
Yeah.
Make sure you got flowing streams. As Derek said before, get it off the rock like the boomers tell you to get it. And
yeah, just gamble. Just gamble.
Calculate a risk, right?
Yeah.
Climb to the top of the ridge to get it from the source.
You know, those boomers, those oldies, they got more like, parasites in their gut. They can digest more like tougher things, I think we're kind of softies now. We have to have filtered water.
I wonder if that's true. Do they have tougher guts? Like,
yeah.
I mean, nowadays kids are being born and like everybody's got some sort of condition, right? Like,
exactly.
We got some sort
I
of
need
like,
my gluten-free this and my gluten-free
yeah,
that.
the allergy, social, emotional, everything. Everybody's got something now. So
Do you think they allowed like emotional support dogs on the planes 50 years ago? No, they didn't do that. They were letting people smoke on the planes, pregnant or not.
the opposite of that, right?
It's complete opposite. They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I got controversy trivia coming up right after this. The trail is calling your name. Are you ready? Are you really ready? Our good friend Roan from Summit Strength can get you trail ready. Roan uses rock solid evidence to design a specialized training program just for you. There are plenty of cookie cutter programs out there that will get you only halfway up the mountain. Make it to your adventure summit with Summit Strength. The link to your success is always in our episode description, but you can check out all the information you need at summitstrength.com.au/online. It's time to be strong and pain-free for your next adventure. All right, I got 3 questions, and I'm nicer than you were the last time. I got multiple choice for these.
Ooh,
Yeah,
all right,
you're welcome.
let's go.
All right, number 1, the U.S. gets involved in a lot of wars.
Yes, they do.
Which one was considered most controversial?
Ooh.
A, Vietnam, B, World War I, C, World War II, D, War of the Worlds.
War of the War. Well, Vietnam was. If we're getting technical, Vietnam wasn't a war; it was a conflict. So I'm going to take that out.
Wait, what?
They
It's
considered it a
war. I know it was like
it's considered a conflict.
I think what you're saying is it wasn't officially declared a war by Congress, right?
Correct.
Okay. It's still
So-
historically considered a war. So
you're saying
I'm
that
not
was
counting as a conflict.
You're counting it as a war, even though it's considered a conflict. Okay. So false information right from the get-go. I guess I'll say Vietnam conflict war.
Okay. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Was that more controversial than War of the Worlds, where like people started fleeing their areas, driving to nowhere? Like, where are they driving to?
Yeah. What were they trying to really do in that movie? I don't really get.
No, the fake radio show came on.
How did it end? I forgot how it ended.
That eliminates that one.
How did it end? Did somebody figure something out?
I think somebody's like, I don't know. How did it end? Did they have like
I don't
policemen like
remember.
return to your homes? It's just a show. I don't know.
Did somebody like figure out like a sound way to like dismantle these things or something? I don't know. I need to see.
They just had to admit they're like, hey guys, just a show, so calm down.
Wow.
I don't know.
I think if you
The
you need to
next
watch that
one,
again.
I don't know. World War I historically is considered controversial because, like, at the time, everybody's like, rah, let's get involved. But then they looked at kind of how the president manipulated everybody to get involved, and they really didn't use this. Anyway.
Honestly, World War I seems like a lot of effort just to get overseas, just to do all that stuff.
We had no business going over there. So.
Like the technology alone just made it like this is a hassle.
A lot of rowboats.
A lot of rowboats.
Yeah, some speedboats.
I mean, burlap sacks for your
burlap
backpack.
sacks. A lot of shovels to dig those trenches.
Oh, the shovels in the trenches.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Anyway, all right. Number 2. Which of the following is generally not considered a big 20th century controversy?
Ooh.
A, use of the atomic bomb in Japan. B, invasion of Iraq. C, Native American boarding schools. Or D, use of steroids in baseball.
Not a controversy?
Not a big 20th century controversy.
Okay, baseball steroids was. I'm gonna say that was big. What was the second one? World War.
Invasion of Iraq.
Invasion of Iraq. I think that was controversial. Like, why did we go over there?
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's Native American boarding schools because I saw a documentary on that, but like nobody really.
A documentary about the re-education, like how to kill their culture. You don't think that's controversial?
I think it's controversial, but I think I want to sadly say a lot of it got swept under the rug. I could be wrong though. And then the first one
swept under the rug just means not controversial.
Yeah, but the first one was the what's on about?
Yeah.
I feel like the atomic bomb.
Okay, you feel like that was?
I feel like people were
like happy about that.
I feel like people were. I don't know. Dude.
I'm like talking you out of all the answers.
I'm thinking like of what I've heard about the atomic bomb my whole life, and I've never heard anybody say like we shouldn't have done that. There's no way we should have done that.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I know, right? But then I will say like once I watched the documentary on what happened, like he dropped the atomic bomb just to show force, and then they're like, let's do it again just so that they know that we're serious. That to me that was controversial. Like let's do the second one. But if you're talking about the first one, Let's go boarding schools. I don't know.
Boarding schools is incorrect. So, okay, all of these are controversies, but the invasion of Iraq happened in the 21st century. That was 2000s. Come on, man.
That's right. You little stinker, you little
stinker. I said it twice, I emphasized it, but yeah, the boarding schools were horrible.
I know, they're all bad.
You're right about that.
They're all
Dude,
bad.
Did you know, speaking of that atomic bomb, did you know that there's a guy from Nagasaki that was visiting Hiroshima during the atomic bomb and then survivived it and then went home and then got bombed again and survived that too?
How did he survive both? What's his story?
I think he's got some sort of like superpowers, like anti-radiation superpowers. I don't know.
He must have bunkers everywhere, or he's now Wolverine from the X-Men.
He got pulled from the wreckage both times, I think. So,
did he really?
Pretty crazy, yeah. Okay. Number 3. This is a past trivia. Okay.
This is a big deal.
Which of these outdoor controversies simply didn't happen? A, somebody attempted all 3 long trails in 1 year with a 3-pound base weight. B, in 2024, somebody left tiny sculptures along the Pacific Crest Trail, angering people who, of course, easily get angry. C, somebody killed famous grizzly number 399 with a car after years of chicken coop murders and trash eating in Jackson, Wyoming. Or D, a weekend hiker wrangled a wild llama and put it in his Volkswagen until the llama shattered a side window trying to escape.
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny? I think I visited this website when I was doing research for the episode.
Did you?
I remember seeing the first 3 on the website. I remember seeing 399 bear.
Okay.
It was like in Canada or somewhere, maybe? I don't know. And then,
Jackson, Wyoming, is in Canada still.
Okay, I didn't see where it was. And then the sculpture thing seems like something somebody for sure would do.
Yeah. 3-pound
base weight seems bananas to me.
And so the long trail, just to clarify, that's the Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, Continental Divide Trail.
That's absurd. I'm going to say it was the llama. I'm going to say llama.
Llama is correct. I made that one up. Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Dude, we had the guy that did the 3-pound base weight on our show. You didn't make that episode, but we talked to, it's like a 20-year-old kid. So
that's how did he, how what was the secret?
He had like a plastic grocery store bag, and then he just hiked through the night and then just like crashed under a tree during the day. That's kind of his, like, not the whole day, but he just put in like monster miles basically.
That's crazy. That does not seem that fun of a trip. Okay.
No.
Past trivia like a champion.
Well done. All right.
Yeah.
I just got one tidbit. So we did an episode, like a gear loadout episode with clothing, and I got a hold of something after that episode. So I'm not sure how you feel about the Cotopaxi brand.
Colorful.
Do you own it? Yeah, colorful. Yeah, what do you know about it? Colorful. Like, what does that mean?
They have some wild designs on their backpacks and stuff. I tried to get you to sell one to somebody at REI one time.
Right. Correct.
Definitely stand out. Like when I see a Cotopaxi, like when you see something, you're like, oh, that's Cotopaxi.
You can tell.
You can know. Yeah.
You can tell. All right. So I got a hold of one of these Cielo rain jackets. And so you can see this, got like kind of the two-tone color. They do have the black with the zipper, but they've got some different color options.
Yeah, it looks good.
And a lot of the backpacking jackets, like they just come in like solid color, black, blue.
Yeah. I like the designs.
Yeah. So they have some different designs for sure. So you'll see these typically at your outdoor store. So they are outdoor. It is outdoor gear. It's probably like a hybrid performance and around town use, if we're being honest here. So performance, they're known for performing well, but they are a little thicker than usual, which is better if you're trying to like use it as a layer of warmth. So it can serve as like a dual purpose, not just like a rain shell. And then, but in terms of like their weight, they're typically like 4 to 8 ounces heavier than like your typical ultralight rain jacket. So like this one comes in right here at 1 pound, which is on the heavier side. But if you're using it as a layer, you can make the case for it. And if you simply want, style or fashion over just the ultra lightest of gear, like this could be an option. So,
okay. I like the look, definitely.
Yeah, just something to consider. I just got it not too long ago, so I haven't put it to the test, and so I have more on that later. But,
what are you, size triple XL or what are you?
Yes.
Nice.
Correct. No.
That should fit. A little snug probably though.
I don't even know what size I am.
He's a large.
That's all I got, my friend.
That's it for me, guys. Always a pleasure. I know we're controversial. That's what we do. We stir the pot. Go listen to your gear reviews elsewhere. We will see you next time. Remember, guys, if you need something weird and blue, it's probably Carl's got it all. It's probably his finasteride blue hair pill so he can grow some more hair. We'll see you next time.